I would say transformative would be like an understatement.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was, the most interesting thing is, I think this kind of stuff finds people when they need it.
Mhm.
And, I feel like it accelerated the transformation process for me, the spiritual,
Mhm.
the mental, psychological. It just accelerated that progression at such a rapid rate. I probably would have spent, Lens, honestly, I probably would have spent 2, 3, maybe even more years just getting to halfway where I'm at now.
Mhm.
And the best way to describe it is, yeah, it's like you're almost getting like an injection of steroids,
Mhm.
and you're bulking up so fast. And what I mean by that is the amount of like progress you make mentally on recovering or soul searching, whatever you want to call it. It's like being put on a super like natural highway almost. That's the best way to explain, because you're taking all of the stuff that you normally would go through in life, but you're like condensing it all, right? And you're kind of spoon feeding it in a very um systematic manner.
Mhm.
So it becomes like, it becomes like a repetitive problem, which is really important, right?
Mhm.
So and that's, I mean, it's really godsend. For me, it was, at least. I wouldn't have been anywhere near where I'm at right now, mentally, physically. Even where I'm at right now, I'm in fucking Mexico, living in living in some really cool hippie town, middle of nowhere. But
Mhm.
that's just a reflection of, and I would have never done this even before the program, what I'm doing now. You know, yeah, my life has changed. I can't, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing really else to say. Like, yes, it's amazing.
I know one thing you can say. It's for everyone to know that you're a real person and you're not on my payroll. What was it like before you started with me? It sounds great to be where you're at now, but what was it like not too long ago?
Yeah, yeah. I like when you say that too every time, not on your payroll. Yes, that's a disclosure for everybody. I'm a real person, and yeah, you could definitely do like A and B. If you ever want to do like an A B.
You wouldn't want
every-
to, but you could.
but yeah. Well, you met me in the most challenging time I've ever had in my life, and
Mhm.
I've been through a lot. Like, I moved to a new country when I was 13,
Mhm.
and I had a lot of struggle. I had 2 kids, a broken marriage, a broken relationship. So, um, and those things were not even compared to how tough the moment that I was in, was it like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe even? I don't know. It hasn't been that
Well,
long,
something like
right?
that. You weren't doing the program for a long period of time, but yeah, I mean, it's always important to remember where you started. That's what really helps you appreciate the gift you have. But yeah, and it's nice, it's good that people understand like you're a real person. You had some real challenges, but yeah, probably about 2.5, 3 months ago, roughly.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, where I was depressed. Before that, I was even suicidal. I had a complete loss of identity. I would
Mhm.
say my ego was broken. I mean, I think what happened, really, the best way to describe it is I had to break, and then what you did, and the incredible delivery that you had, it kind of helped me to put pieces back together, but in a much more cohesive, efficient way.
Mhm.
I think the biggest takeaways that I've had, even though like I feel great and all this stuff, even the more important things are like the insights that you have, the
Mhm.
the spiritual insights that you have about life, and it just keeps going. I have these insights like almost daily now,
Mhm.
and and this place that I'm at right now too. I found it by mistake, but it's like one of the few woke communities in the entire world. It's in
Mhm.
Oaxaca region in Mexico. So a lot of people here on like a really cool spiritual journey. So it's just perfect. So this place found me, but I would say, yeah, it is a gift that keeps on giving. Um, and I've never had that much mental clarity and uh, you know, peace and like love. I think the other biggest thing too was for me, and I'm a spiritual person. And I honestly was very lost in a way where, and I used to believe in God and all this stuff. Like, I used to, like I was guided.
Mhm.
And for the most recent thing that happened with me, the traumatic thing, like I lost a lot of faith in God.
Mhm.
And it's really restored. I mean, obviously, like I feel like I'm so blessed that I
Mhm.
found Jesus just randomly on the internet. It's just, it's coincidence.
Sounds funny saying that, right?
Oh,
I found you on the internet.
well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like the people that are going to do it, like, it's just sent to you. Like, it's, I think there's a divine order to things. And yeah, I
Mhm.
think, if you're watching this and you're struggling and you have doubts about things, and I'm telling you right now, I've been through therapy. I've have relatively like already open mind. I've tried a lot of different modalities for healing. I've tried, like I said, therapy, life coaching. I read a ton of books, but I've never came across something that was so well put together with a specific purpose. And like, I love how you knew exactly what you needed to do, and you just put everything that all the tools that you essentially need. Like, it's like creme de la creme. You always say that it really is creme de la creme of all this, all this stuff. And yeah, therapy is not even nothing compared to this. Like, therapy is just a hogwash, you know,
Mhm.
compared to the process, the process that you go through in this program. So
Wonderful. Well said. Well said. Yeah. So, um, really, yeah, I don't have a lot of questions, just nice, simple ones. Again, like for everyone listening here, Gen is a very real person. This was not easy. He worked fucking hard. You and I spoke quite a number of times over the last couple of months, but you know what? Here you are, and you worked hard for it. You deserve it. Remember, and this great for anyone hearing here, this is a lifetime commitment. I work with you for a short period of time, relatively speaking, but ultimately, I now hand off the baton, and it's up to you. The good news is, again, I still reaffirm to you, this is only the very beginning. This is only the very beginning, because what's going to happen over time is, as you continue doing the process, you'll even more live these things we talk about. And when you live them, it's like you go and do your practice in the morning, you're like, this ain't fucking words. I'm actually living. It's like literally creating your own, almost in real time, modern day scripture where you're actually living a certain way. It's not words. It's not like, it's like, dude, I'm really experiencing this. And that's what allows you to even further embrace and dig your heels in what you and I are doing together. And that's what makes the process so super enjoyable, because it's like you get to go even further and further into bonus territory. You might feel great now, but there's fucking fantastic. There's fucking amazing. There's levels here. And so it's really your ability to enjoy and explore what you're really capable of. Like muscles, you can go becoming a really strong athlete, bench presses 200, but there's also 300 pounds too. It depends how far you really want to take it. So really my last question, nice and easy here. And again, you crushed it, man. My last question really is, how do you feel about your life now going forward? Now this is great for you, to reemphasize here. Real faith is when you take actions and you do things where you don't have any assurance or guarantee of what's going to happen in the future. That's a real fucking faith is. Anyone can have faith when you have guarantees. Oh, I got a nice job. Oh, I know I'm going to be here for the next 5 years, whatever that is. That doesn't take any real courage. What takes courage is actually exuding and practicing real faith when you do not have any guarantees of what's awaiting you, over the bend. So how do you feel now about your future going forward? Again.
yeah, and you're talking about like having faith in the life in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah. How do you feel about where life is going to take you now? As far as what you're going to experience, your ability to handle things, your ability to
Yeah.
live life on your own terms, to bounce back, have real control, real consistency, knowing that challenges are going to happen. Of course they do. That's the way, I was telling people, unless you want to live in a fucking monastery or like a forest somewhere, they're going to happen. But how do you feel now about your ability to attract life at a different level, because you are a different level, not just be able to attract it, but keep it. And when challenges happen, to be able to really see things through and, really get what you deserve. Like in the past, many people have situations where they attract certain things, certain people, certain situations, but it slips through the cracks. But we've
Yes.
really, we've really done a pretty good job of filling in those chinks in the armor. So it's like now going forward, it's like you should have a damn good, reason to feel like those challenges happen in the future. You have a brand new arsenal to handle them, which really should give you a damn good,
Yes.
feeling of like, I'm going to be good with whatever happens here in the future, which should really, again, put that big smile on your face. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth here, man, but it's like, you should feel really good about that, even though
Yeah.
there's a lot of unknowns, that you have way better ways of handling things and enjoying things, no matter what kind of challenges come your way. So what I'm asking you in short is, how do you feel about,
Yeah.
continuing your journey in this thing we call life, with where there are a lot of unknowns, but your ability that you're going to do really great and excel at a different level because you're at a different level.
Yes. Yes. Those are everything that you said is dead on, absolutely dead on accurate. So the first thing I want to say to anyone that's like doubting, for me the biggest challenge was like the investment part
Mm-hmm.
and investing that money, and the bigger the sacrifice is, the bigger the payoff is.
Mm-hmm.
So it may seem like a lot of money, but I think the reason why you do that is because you only want the kind of people that will be
Mm-hmm.
dedicated. They're gonna see things through, right? I think that's
That,
really,
that, that, that there's definitely truth to that.
yeah.
You have to have
So
skin in the game.
you have to, otherwise you're not gonna stick. So it's almost like it makes you stick to the plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, fuck money, like I better try this out, see if it actually works. The nice thing is that within a week, within a week, like even less than that, yeah, I would say give it a week, you will start to see like major difference in how you feel, just how you feel
Mm-hmm.
daily. Your emotional state changes. Um, So, and then the other part where you were saying how, one insight that I had going through this practice, this process is the reason why people have such a life where it's like they're on this winning streak, and then when things come crashing down, they go into this like reactive mode, and then
Mm-hmm.
for a while they struggle again. It's almost like they're swimming. Oh, there's a sinkhole. They're gonna go in. They're gonna stay under there for a while. Life is gonna suck, and it could be a month. It could be a fucking year. It could be 2 years. Who knows? This is the only process that I found in my life that gives you the tool to consistently get yourself out of that. Because remember, your mindset is what dictates your life ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
So once you once you start looking at things differently, I think that's when things start to change. Like it's not a cliche; it's the truth, ultimate truth. So this is the only tool that I've ever came across that gives you that armor. It gives you the weapon that you need, in
Love
life.
it. I like that phrase.
Sword, it's like a sword. Like your mind is a sword, really, really. Like in modern world, like we don't have real swords, but our minds are. So
All right.
yeah, you're like sharpening your sword when you do this stuff, right? So you can cut through anything, any difficulty in life, you can cut through
Mm-hmm.
it. And the sharper your sword is, the more tempered your edges, the quicker you're going to deal with things, and you're going to bounce back. So you know just to kind of summarize everything, like this is the only process that consistently allows you to bounce back from the setbacks, which are inevitable in life. Everybody's gonna have setbacks, and get you back up to feeling the way you should be feeling. And I mean, like who doesn't want that? That's it. It's almost like yeah, I feel like I want the fucking universe lottery. Like that's what it feels like. But yeah, I'm you know, very much amazed that this like you were able to generate all this incredible work and put so much thought into it and then discover these incredible things. And I feel very blessed ultimately. And my life now is like, I like wanted to be dead,
Mm-hmm.
a year. Now I'm still like, obviously I still have my own struggles every day. Like I'm not like constantly happy all the time. Right. But I know it's a gradual process. I know I'm building towards something every day. And that's the best feeling. Like, that the more you do this practice, the more you're going to feel the results of
Mm-hmm.
it. And
Mm-hmm.
every day it's gradually better. And there's like this overall trend. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, incredible things happen in my life. Like I've done things that I've never done before. I had the courage things. I'm attracting so many positive people. Like I'm staying in like this incredible place where, yeah, people are just, it's all about like respecting each other and like love and all this stuff. So I'm just really, really in it. Um, but yeah, it elevates your consciousness to a different level where you can live a better life
Mm-hmm.
ultimately.
Wonderful. So I'll make a couple comments here. Great stuff again. So, and this is great for everyone here as well here. Again, it's not perfect. Neither am I. None of us are perfect. Progression, not perfection. This is a process that will give you consistency and control, not perfection. Consistency and control. Some days are hard, not just again for me too. I'm a fucking human being just like everyone else here. Some days are harder because you have more challenges. Some days you have more weight on that emotional barbell. Some days you're more compromised physically. So days you're more compromised physically, That's going to be a harder day. Again, does not get away without those days, and neither do I. Nobody does. But this is about having control and consistency and doing a hell of a lot fucking better, even on days that are hard. The keywords are better, faster, quicker, stronger. So even on days that are hard, that are compromised because you're in the midst of an emotional challenge or you're physically compromised, you'll still be amazed how good you do considering. So this is great always to repeat again. Like you're always going to, unless you want to live in a monastery or the forest somewhere, challenge is going to happen. As a matter of fact, even on the call here, I have a little weight on my emotional barbell right now, mostly because I'm physically a little compromised. I've been doing calls all day long. It's now, I've been on the phone basically 7 hours straight. I didn't sleep quite as much last night. So I'm a little physically compromised. I have a little bit more weight on my emotional barbell. But here's my point. Even though my workout today is a little harder because physically I'm a little compromised, I'm still doing pretty fucking good today. I'm still doing better than I even would have done a week ago. So even though I'm not perfect, even though I'd like to be at a higher level, I'm still doing the best I ever would have done in this kind of situation. A true trend of higher highs and higher lows. So you're never going to escape that. That's always going to be par for the course, but you have to embrace that as part of the human experience. We're not here to be perfect, but we are here to progress and really enjoy. And that's really why you're here at the end of the day, to enjoy yourself. If everyone listening to the call here, I don't know you, obviously, because I haven't spoken to you yet. But if imagine you got better and better and better every day in the way you feel and the way you bounce back, regardless of your external world, regardless of the challenges, regardless of who's in your life or not in it. If you got better and better and better in enjoying your day every day, regardless of the external, doesn't that make you the fucking master of life? I mean, what else is there? I think that's game, set, match. But what Gen's saying here is, at the end of the day, you're still going to be in the real world. And in the real world, there are challenges, physical, emotional, and those challenges are something that's going to be synonymous with more weight on that emotional barbell. And when you have more weight on the emotional barbell, it's a harder workout. But what you'll learn to really celebrate is, I did pretty good considering. But the challenges never end. We are living a human experience here. And I like living in the real world. So as long as you live in the real world, that's going to happen from time to time. But what happens is, over time is, as you have enough of these workouts, and again, you've had about 2.5 months of them, what happens is you go through enough cycles, you really start to embrace the cycle and say, you know what, this is just the workout. It's the rite of passage. So just like in the gym, I'm gonna embrace it for what it is. It's the workout to get to the next level, knowing that if I'm willing to embrace it for what it is, I'll reach a brand new level. And that's what gives you that experience of higher highs and higher lows, and an overall trend that is up. But the struggles and the challenges that we experience in life are synonymous with a very hard workout in the classic gym. This thing we call life is the gym for here. And you have a choice. You can either embrace it as a workout and say, oh, fuck, I'm just going to be miserable today. Option 2 is not a very good one. I would highly encourage anyone listening here to embrace option 1. But to do that, you need the right workout. And that's what this is about. And what makes this different is, this is where the rubber meets the road. Everything you hear is all practical and workout focused, a different type of workout. But I will always give you the science and logic of why things work. But at the end of the day, I always give you the actual application. That's why it's so transformative, where people having experience, even just for a few days or for first week. That does not mean everything's solved in a week or two. It just means for the first time they have momentum. But that's because, like in a workout, you do your workout, your muscles get stronger. In this case, we work out our emotional muscles so you can get emotionally stronger, faster, quicker, better. But that's really what it is. But you learn to embrace those challenges as that next workout. And that's what makes it actually a good thing. Because for human beings, what really separates human beings from really any other species is, human beings are the only species that have the ability to actually, between a stimulus and the way we react, we can actually decide how we're going to go about it. We can decide to say, you know what, this is the workout. This is the rite of passage. I'm going to embrace it. We can actually train and wire ourselves to really embrace and enjoy challenges. Of course, it's not very fucking enjoyable when you don't know what to do. But if you have a specific process on how to handle it, it actually becomes like a video game where you're like, okay, I'm going to test my might here. I'm going to get better and better. I'm going to get to higher levels. I'm going to beat that next boss level, whatever that is. But you do need that right process to do that. This is not a conceptual course. So the difference here is, this is where all that stuff becomes very practical, and everything that you might know conceptually, it's all made practical in a very repeatable way. But yeah, great stuff, Ken. So I guess my very last question here, this is kind of almost a comical question, but who would you recommend to this process to? Who do you think could benefit? What kind of person do you think could benefit from this?
Yeah. Everybody, obviously, it is a comical question. I think there's only a few privileged people in this entire world
Hmm.
that have had consistent enough experiences in their childhood or perhaps in their teens
Hmm.
where a lot of their emotional needs were taken care of and they were properly stimulated, where they became healthy, well, emotionally regulated adults. But
Hmm.
that's very rare. Almost everyone has some kind of issue or trauma they're dealing with. So obviously, I would recommend this to anyone. Anyone that even, yeah, that doesn't have something severely, emotional they're dealing with, it would make anyone's life better. Because keep this in mind, guys. Like before this, if you don't have this, what we're talking about here, you're just constantly living at the whim of life. Whatever happens, you're going to react emotionally, and then you're going to have to figure out your own way. It's almost like you're kind of going blind and you're feeling your way through life. That's what it feels like.
Hmm.
When you have the tools, and that's what I like what Lens mentioned, is like this is the reason why this is so effective is because it's a consistent, well-structured curriculum and practice that's very easy to learn and it's very easy to apply. And the amount of time you put in it compared to the quality of life you get is infinitesimal compared to the actual dividend that you get all in
Hmm.
all. Yeah, I think that's a good summary of that. Yeah.
That's great, Ken. Thank you so much. And yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Ken. Perfect. In the wise words of Denzel Washington, my man, good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.